Hey, happy Saturday, my friends. Welcome to your mom's favorite YouTube channel. I think it's funny when one of my favorite YouTubers always says that. Cracks me the hell up. Shout out to Colt Strength in Australia. Dude's an absolute monster. Bench presses like 500 pounds, 560 pounds. I've learned so much from him. But he always says, welcome to your mom's favorite channel. So technically not copying him, I guess. But he cracks me up every time he says it. So I'm gonna start using it. Why not throw in a little comedy, right? Today running in Adams, Spanish brand. But they also buckle a little bit at the top. Actually, you see? I don't like when the top of the shoe buckles like that. I have the same problem with Mount Coast. I complain about it and they're like, oh, you don't have it tight enough. Yeah, I do. It doesn't cause a real problem. But what it does is your shoes become rock catchers. And when you run on pea gravel like I do most of the time, I'm always throwing up rocks and my shoes will catch them. So that's one great thing about Hokas. A lot of people even in trail races don't wear gaiters with Hokas is because the collar, the neck of the shoe is very well designed. It fits snug around your ankle. You're not going to get many rocks. Now you may get sand and stuff in through the laces. I mean, I do wear gaiters and 100 milers with my Hokas, but I wish they had gaiter holders like the Ultras do. Ultras, that's the main thing I like about their shoes is the gaiter holders. They call it the gaiter strap system. I wish Hoka would license that from them. I don't know if they have a patent on it. They probably do. That's the only thing I don't like about Hokas, but for training runs, they fit so snug that around the ankle you don't get rocks in your shoes. But 100 milers, I gotta wear gaiters. Hey, Nikita Carlson. Almost sounds like a Swedish name. Thanks, hey, thanks for joining. Hope you're doing great. I'm just out for a run. It's the first time I've wore long sleeve shirts this year. It's like 62 degrees. Feels kind of cool. It's cool enough to wear a long sleeve shirt in Texas. 62 degrees, I guess that's about, in Celsius, that's probably like 14 or 15 maybe. I don't know. But it feels nice. Of course, the sun is out. Just in a few miles, the temperature's increased like 10 degrees. So it's gonna be blazing hot again today. But at least in the morning, it's really nice. It's about, what time is it right now? 8:30. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Well, you can speak Korean. Very cool. John Mills, thanks for joining, man. You can speak Korean. I can speak Chinese. I lived in China for 10 years. I can recognize Korean words. People that don't live in Asia, they're always like, it all looks the same to me. No, if you live in Asia, it looks very different. I can recognize a Korean person. I can recognize a Japanese person just by the way they dress and the way they handle themselves. Chinese the same way. And for like Korean words, I know we're getting off on a tangent talking about writing, but Korean words, a snake, have to be careful in this area. We have a lot of venomous snakes in this area. Mostly water moccasins. But anyways, Korean written words always have a circle in the characters. I call them the words. I call them characters. Japanese words, what they call kanji, is like cat scratch, a lot more simpler words. And Chinese words have a lot more strokes, never any circles. So I can tell the difference. But I can't speak any Korean. I can speak a little bit of Japanese, just some basic phrases, but my Chinese is pretty good. I can also speak technical Chinese too, because I worked in factories there. But hey, Jadu, thanks, man. There you go. See, you can write in Korean too. That's cool, man. John Mills, one of my good friends is named Bob Mills. He lives in Missouri. I'm in Georgetown, Texas, north of Austin. It's a beautiful day. It's like I said, it's gonna be blazing hot, but that's normal. At least in the mornings, it's nice and cool now. Other people up north will say it's still hot, but when you go out running and it's 60 degrees in Texas, it feels like wintertime. That's why I have a long sleeve shirt on. It's the first time this year wearing a long sleeve shirt. No kidding, not even for work. And first time wearing a Janji shirt. They're getting very big in running apparel. And this is my Cocodona 250 shirt from last year. It's really nice. It's made by Janji. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, even though a lot of podcasts are. But they make pretty good stuff. I've never tried their shorts. I want to try out their shorts. I heard they're pretty good. And one of the coaches I always listen to, David Roach, he swears by them. But that's the problem, is when you're listening to influencers, you never know if they really like the stuff or they're just sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I mean, people send me free product all the time. And I test it and stuff, and I'm honest about it. I mean, just like I was just talking about the shoes I'm wearing right now. They were given to me. They're pretty good shoes. They're made by a Spanish company. But I don't like the neck of the shoe. It buckles a little bit. Like I said, it causes a problem when you're running in pea gravel, because I think my right foot comes across and strikes my left foot sometimes when I'm running. And it has a tendency to throw up rocks. And sure enough, my other shoe will catch it. And you know, if you get a small rock in your shoe, that causes a big issue. Oh yeah, you see, that first character had a circle in it. So that's how you recognize Korean words. I can't read Korean words. I can read quite a few Chinese words. Japanese and Chinese words never have circles in them. But hope y'all having a great day. Beautiful Saturday in Texas. Plan to run and lift weights today. It's a push day. A lot of people out on the trails, walking their dogs and stuff. It's a nice day to be out. Hey Sarah, thanks for joining. Circles. Look at the first Chinese word. Look at the first word in the question that you sent me. It has a circle in it. The Korean word has a circle in it. Chinese and Japanese words don't do that. It looks like the zero or the letter O. Chinese words don't do that. That's how you know you can recognize Korean. Nice day for your teeth to hit the sun. Huh. Yeah, it's a nice day to be in the sun. You know, being in the sun's very important. Let's talk about that for a second. You need to get your vitamin D. But I actually wear a lot of sunblock. I had skin cancer before. Right here, I have a big scar. I had to cut my face open. You gotta be careful in the sun. So I've always worn sunblock. I've been running for 35 years. I'm always outside. In Texas, we have a lot of sun. I've always worn sunblock, but not so much on my face. And the reason is because I don't care if it's sport version. If you get sunblock in your eyes, it's gonna burn. Even the one that's not supposed to burn. So I've always put it on lightly. So my face is always the biggest risk. That's why I wear a hat. I turn my hat around when I'm doing a live stream, but Usually I have my hat out, so my face is always the most risk. But you gotta be careful out in the sun. Am I going north? No, I'm actually going east. East at the moment. I'm in Texas, so I'm very far south. Now I'm going west. I'm going downhill. You can see here. This is a pretty steep hill. I do hill repeats on it. I guess it's about 12 or 15%. This hill is so steep that you can run up it, but you can't bike up it. You'd have to be a pro cyclist to cycle up this thing. But it's a great place to do hill repeats. There's always people out here doing that. I also like it because it has a great 5G signal, so I can do my lives here. A lot of my trails, I guess it's about 6 miles. 6 miles, maybe that's like 12 kilometers for my European and Asian friends of trails here. But probably only half have a phone signal. This part has a good signal. I say that, sometimes I drop the signal, but it's pretty good right now. We got 5G. Andy Gurr, man, what's up? Ishi, hey, man. Yeah, that's the cool thing about YouTube. Can I see a mountain? Huh. You don't see many mountains in Texas, but you can see over there. I don't know if you can see that or not. My friends that live in the mountains would call us in Texas have hills, but they're kind of mountains to us. If you go far, you know, Texas is very big, over 800 miles wide. If you go to far West Texas, we have some pretty big mountains. But I'm in Central Texas. There's almost nothing at all. So we just have big hills. So European heritage, huh? Oh, we were talking about European friends. The nice thing about YouTube is you get friends from all over the world. That's so cool. I was having a live stream the other day and I was talking to some kid in Nigeria. I get a lot of young people join my live streams because there's a lot of gamers on YouTube, which is kind of cool. Kind of changes the conversation sometimes. European heritage, yeah. I think 400 or 500 years ago, my family was from England. I guess most of us in the U.S. were from England at one time. But yeah, that's where my family tree comes from. Yeah, it is kilometers away. You're right. It's probably 5 kilometers away. If you were a cowboy, I would wear so much leather. Yeah, you know, the thing is, the funny thing about living in Texas, if you see somebody wearing a cowboy, they're usually not a cowboy, they're a tourist. Nobody wears cowboy hats. I mean, some ranchers do and stuff when they dress up, go to church or something. But the thing about leather is so hot. I mean, like I was just telling you, I have a very thin shirt on. This is the first time this year I've worn a long sleeve shirt. It's October. It's so hot in Texas. I mean, right now it's probably 15, are we talking Celsius, 15 degrees? It'll be close to 40 degrees Celsius within about 5 hours. So that's, you know, going from like 70 degrees up to 100 degrees. If you wear leather, it's extremely hot. Some girls, ladies do that for fashion. Crazy hot, they're gonna sweat in it. They definitely don't wanna be outside with it. Minecraft games, very cool. My son is 12 and my daughter is 9. They play Roblox. My son's into shooter games, but he plays Minecraft too. He likes the Pokemon version of Minecraft. A long time ago, he was really into Pokemon, but he mainly plays Roblox and Fortnite and Clash of Titans. What else does he play? But he likes Minecraft, but not regular Minecraft. He likes the Pokemon version. So next time when you do this in Africa, oh, yeah, it would be cool to go to Africa. always wanted to go train and run, and I always wanted to go to Kenya and run in those running camps. It's really cool, but I mean, if you have a family, it's difficult to do something like that. But I would love to go to Africa and Kilimanjaro. It's a very high mountain, but it's doable by anybody because you have to climb it real slow, and they have tours and stuff that you can go up there. I've done the Kilimanjaro series on my treadmill, my running machine. Very cool place. I would love to go to Africa. Never been there though. Argentina. Hey Donnie. Life of Daisy. Oh yeah. Venezuela. It looks like you're from India, my friend. Yeah, global warming on fashion. But you know, I'm pretty old. I'm in the late 50s, and it's always been hot in Texas. So I don't know that we have too much global warming here. It's always been warm. So Argentina is a very cool place. I'd love to go there too. Hey, Muff DVR. I know what your channel name says, but I'm not going to say it correctly. Otherwise, I'll get slapped by YouTube. Very funny name, though. Thanks for joining, man. Hey, if y'all new to the channel, please subscribe. I go live every day. We talk about all kinds of shit. Today, we're talking about mountains, talking about cowboys and leather. What else do we talk about today? Oh, temperature change. I'm not kidding. It's gone up like 15 degrees in 3 miles. When I first went out, it was 62, which in Celsius, I guess, is around, I don't know, I'm just guessing 13 maybe. Maybe it's 13, 14, something like that. But now it's probably 78, 80 degrees. Yeah, it's gonna be very hot. Thanks for the video, man. Oh, very good, very cool, Nikita. Donnie, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, what other languages can you speak? I can speak a little bit of Spanish because growing up we have to study Spanish, but my Chinese is pretty good because I lived there for 10 years and you have to speak it. Not far off from what to school? Oh, you're in Canada, man. Yeah, that's right. I got a lot of friends in Canada, man. Very cool people there. I've been to Toronto once. I've been to London, Ontario once. That was during college. That was a lot of fun. We drove up there from Texas. It was a long ways. 30 hours. I'm breathing hard because I'm running uphill. Steep hill. I'm doing hill repeats. I made it to the top. No, we didn't. I don't remember. It was in college and we were drinking a lot of liquor. It was for a fraternity conference. It might have been the University of Western Ontario or something like that. The only thing I can remember is we had to go to special stores to buy beer, and we'd buy a box of beer. You can only buy beer from these stores. It's like government liquor store. It's very different than the US. No, I wish. Where was I in the CIH? No, I was managing a factory there. I was actually working that you can buy. Talking about this before. It was a long time ago, but I remember that part of it. And I remember we bought Labatt's. I think it's a Canadian brand. That's pretty good. It's pretty strong. You know, the beer that we have in USA is pretty light. It's only like 3 or 4% alcohol. I don't drink beer anymore. I haven't drank in a long time. But when I was in college, I drank too much. But it was Labatt's Blue. It was in bottles. It was pretty good stuff. It kind of reminded me of European type beer because it's stronger, you know. All right. I'm not breathing hard anymore because we're going downhill again. Uphill's pretty tough. Portuguese. Oh, wow, cool. One of my friends from Finland, I worked with him in the US factory. He went to Brazil and lived in Manaus for a couple years, married a lady there, and he could speak some Portuguese. Very talented guy. He's from Finland, speaks the Finnish language, speaks good English, and speaks Portuguese also. Europeans, especially Europeans, are very clever. They can speak so many languages. I guess they have to because the countries are so small. But I remember people, before I learned Chinese, people were always saying, why Americans only know one language? It's because the US is so big. You know, you have to go really, you know, air travel is cheap now. Oh, well, it's gotten up expensive. It's more expensive now, but it's gotten a lot cheaper than it was 20, 30 years ago. You have to travel a long ways to deal with another language. That's why Americans don't learn other languages very often. Plus, they're more, I guess they're lazy too about it. I was for a long time. But when I lived in China, working there, it made life in China much more fun if you could speak the language. And then I worked in some small factories where it was just maybe me and another person spoke English. So it was really important for me to learn Chinese. Yeah. What kind of special beer? Oh, I was just talking about when I was in Canada, I bought the Labatt. No, I didn't retire. I moved back in 2016 because the air was getting so bad in China. You know, the air quality in China, it's always been bad, but it was mainly bad in the big cities. But then it got to the point where even the small cities are having a problem. It's much better now, but that was the main reason. If I'd go out running, I'm not kidding, I would have to look at an app on my phone and see what the air quality is every time I go out running. Sometimes it would be dangerous level, yeah. So I brought my family back. That's the only reason. So no, I still work. I mean, I have young kids. I'll be working for a long time. But I didn't really retire. I just moved back to the USA. I miss it sometimes. We still have a house in West China, Chengdu area. But we don't go there very much. So. Now, you can wear a mask, yeah, but not when you're running, man. So, I mean, David, you have a good point, but when you're out running, it's difficult to wear a mask. Not only that, people look at you funny. People look at you funny anyways because you're a foreigner running on a Chinese road. I'm, 6 foot tall, and I'm very big guy compared to most Chinese guys and ladies. So when I'm running down a sidewalk or a street in China, I stop traffic. People look at, who's that guy? Especially when I'm working in small cities that don't have many foreigners. So if I put on a mask, I'm really gonna stop traffic. Nobody in China wears a mask like that. They did during COVID, but I wasn't there during COVID. I left way before that. But when you run with a mask, it's very difficult. You have to wear a sports mask, which is made out of rubber. They hurt your face. It's almost same kind of mask that they use for painting houses and stuff. You can't wear a paper mask. So you purchase property? Yeah, you can. Yeah, foreigners can own property in China, no problem. Yeah. I mean, you can own property, but when you sell it and stuff, it becomes more of a challenge because you sell it in the local currency. So we just keep it there, we rent it. So Yeah, and there's no problem. Now for factories and stuff, foreign companies have to lease the land. It's not possible for a company to buy the land for a factory. But for housing, you can buy a house. My house is like on the 24th floor of a building. They call it a house, but in the US we would say it looked like an apartment or a condo, I guess. They don't have single houses. They do in the countryside, but yeah, but no, to answer your question, yeah, you can buy a house there. All right, my friends, I'm gonna end my live stream. My battery's getting low, but I'll probably go live later today or tomorrow. I'll definitely go tomorrow. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Good talking to you, and hope y'all have a great Saturday, great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.